So MCQ 15, the question asked is ED50 of a drug represents option A efficacy, option B potency, option C half-life, option D duration of drug action. Now what is ED50? First let us expand what is that ED50 means. Now ED50 is nothing but effective dose 50. So it is effective dose 50. So what do you mean by this effective dose 50? So in order to understand that, let me draw a graph. This is the graph, and you need to know the graph, that is, it is the y-axis which represents the response, and this x-axis represents the drug dose. Now suppose I plot a graph on this. This will be sigmoid curve, and this graph is called dose response curve. Now here the aspect is, this is the response, and the maximum response that is obtained is, this is the maximum response obtained. So this y-axis represents efficacy, and this is the dose which is represented by x-axis. Now what is the dose that is required to achieve 50% of the response? Now this is the dose. Now suppose I write 1 milligram, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. In order to obtain 50% of response, how much is the dose of the drug? So that is called ED50, effective dose 50 to produce 50% of response. So in this example it will be 2 milligram. So what do you mean by that? If the drug ED50 represents the drug dose. Remember, when they tell about dose of the drug, it always remember it is the potency we are speaking about. So here ED50 of a drug represents dose of the drug, and it is the potency which can be determined by the dose of the drug. So coming to the question, ED50 of a drug represents potency. Remember, wherever the letter as dose always represent potency. Efficacy is the y-axis component, which is the response, the maximum response which we obtain from the drug. Half-life, it is the duration to reduce the plasma concentration to half. That is the half-life. Duration of action, how much duration the drug stays in the body, and it will be above the mean effective concentration. It doesn't mean that it has to stay for 10 hours, but what is the duration on which it is more than MEC, minimum effective concentration, that will be the duration of drug action. So the correct answer is potency.